Oftentimes, people ask me, what irritates you on your ghost tours? Is it rude customers? Is it people who are not part of the tour but interrupt? Not really. What used to irritate me a lot was when your deceased family members would start to talk to me on the tour or after the tour was over when I would get home. It first started when the Ghost Hunters bus tour was still happening, and we used to go up to the Manoa Chinese Cemetery. And there we were, it was a Friday night. We were at the top of the children's section where those big trees used to be, and they've since been cut away. As I was beginning to explain the history of the cemetery, especially in the children's section, a female voice whispered in my left ear a name, Valerie. And I stopped, and I looked at the group, and I said, "Is there anybody named Valerie in this group?" And this hand went up in the back of the group. Young Hawaiian girl, she says, "I'm Valerie." And while she's saying that, the same female voice whispers in my ear, "Animals." And I'm sort of irritated because I've been interrupted in the middle of telling my story. And then I ask, "Do you have anything to do with animals?" And she says, "Well, yes, I'm a veterinarian." And then, because this was a female voice saying the name, mentioning the animals, I then asked her, "Do you have a female relative buried in the cemetery someplace?" And she points to the lane next to us. And she says, "Over there. That's where my aunt is buried. She committed suicide, but before it happened, we had a disagreement, and I never got to say goodbye. I didn't know that this cemetery was one of the stops, and as the bus started to drive up the road toward it, I began to get very nervous, very scared, in fact, that maybe her ghost was going to show up and haunt me. And I guess in a way, she did." Does it happen today? Do your deceased relatives still talk to me while you're on the tour or after it's over, when I'm home with my family? Not so much on the tours, not so much at home, but at very inopportune times, very unexpected times. They communicate through me to people like yourselves, and then you end up crying. And so you're thinking to yourselves right now as you're watching this, are one of my deceased relatives talking to him right now as I'm watching this video? Absolutely.